Okay, so next thing we're going to do is the stool. So I'm just going to select all of that, start with an automatic unwrap. Now the other thing I want to check is that everything's the right scale, because it looks like the seat is much bigger. So I'm just going to get textile density of one piece and then just set textile density of everything. Okay, so I might actually start with the top. Let's get that out of the way. So what I'm going to actually do here, first of all, you can see there's some issues with this because not all of it is, you know, this bit is missing off the edge. So I'm going to cut that first all the way around because I want it to be the same. So let's cut that, and then so now this bit I don't want to select because this bit I'm already happy with what's stitched, but I do want those bits. So now if I move and sew that, so now you can see it's done that entire section. Oh, we have got that bit as well, which we are going to want that in a minute, so it's not a massive deal. Let's cut it off for now, just so I can unfold this bit and kind of show you that, because now we've got this bevel, we've got it nice and straight all the way around as well. So let's do the same on the bottom. So that edge, gonna cut it, and then again here we're gonna deselect the bit that's already attached. In fact, we do want that one. Same down here. Move and so, unfold that. And again, you can see now we've got that bevel all the way around as well. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to attach, and we're going to attach it to the top because again then it's going to get rid of a seam, and we're going to do basically all of that, I guess. And then again, because we've got these cuts here, that's kind of good because although it's a seam, it means there's less distortion on the texture. Now, what I might do, just because at the minute some of these have got two pieces attached and some have got one, so to try and make it consistent, I'm gonna cut there, cut that. Let's just cut them for now. Stitch these. Still going to be a bit wonky at the minute, but now there's two pieces there, so this one needs doing as well. Cut, and then move and sew that. And then there's two pieces there, so there's one on the kind of that side and two on the other side, so that's kind of symmetrical because it's free on the sides. There's not an additional cut there, so there's not a great deal we can do with regards to that, but I think that is quite decent. Let's have a look. There is a bit, actually what I might do is, yeah, let's do that. I'm just going to cut all of these corner pieces off because you can see it's making it curve there, and the squares are starting to distort quite a bit. And I think if I just cut those and then unfold, you can see that's pretty much fixed that now. It's a bit off because it's rotated, but if I straighten that up, see that looks much better now. We've got a little bit more seams, but because it's allowing these bits to go straight, I think it's kind of worth it. So then we're just going to stitch back to it as well. So now all that is one piece. And although we have got these seams in the corners, you know, if this was material, it may well have some kind of seam or like ruffle or something like that in the corner of the material anyway, because that, you know, that's where it's kind of bunched together in order to keep it tight on the corner or whatever. So I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so let's get all of that out. Put this piece in. Okay, so that bit is done. So next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna cut these pieces off. And this is again similar to the table. I'm looking to kind of do the individual kind of sections together and just stitch those together. Now I think that's everything. So I'm going to start here. So again, because this is the narrow bit underneath, I know that these longer bits are the side bits, so I can just stitch those like that. Fold it, because everything's slightly angled, we might need to unfold kind of everything that we're doing here. I mean, potentially we could probably straighten that. There's very little difference there, so yeah, let's do that. So next bit. So again, with that centre bit, unfold, straighten, sorted. Okay, these different sizes. A little bit. Okay, so let's get that again. Set. Okay, maybe that's not actually square. I mean, is it me or does that look longer? I'm not convinced it does. Okay, I mean, if for some reason it's not doing it, then we can just click that, and we know that that's the right size now. Okay, so we've done that one and that one. So now let's do this one. Oops. So again, doing the center, straighten UV. So this is just going to align it basically with that top one, and then again with the bottom one there. It's just so we know they're all the right scale, because I'm fairly confident that this is actually square. So now this is the last one up here. Unfold, straighten UV, then again okay, so all those are done now as well. Okay, let's do these bits next. Now again, we're probably going to want the seams kind of there. So let's move and sew that. Didn't you just know it was going to go all the way over there? Oops. So that's a bit I don't want. That's going to there. That's going to there. So again, that seam is out of the way as much as possible. And again, we're selecting this. It's doing the other side, so we know to stop there. Just going to unfold that. Okay. Where are those bits? So again, we're going to want the seam there, so we're not going to do that one. So that goes to there, that goes to there, that goes to there. So again, that's the one we don't want to stitch, so let's go there. So that's going to stitch to that. That's going to stitch to that. That's going to stitch to that. Leave our seam out of the way. Unfold that. Just going to rotate it, keep it in line with the others. And then last one, which I think is this one. And again, that's the edge we're going to want to leave undone. Okay, now again, these are looking a bit off. And again, I think we are going to be able to get away with straightening them. I'm just going to use this because if we straighten them, it might do it to different kind of degrees. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so they're done as well. Tell you what, let's save it because we don't want anything terrible to happen and we lose it. Whereabouts are these? Okay, they're paddle legs. All of those are part of the legs. Okay, these are presumably the bits down here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is these edges, we're going to cut them all. Because again, similar to on the stool top, we don't want these attached to the legs. We're going to do these all together. So first of all, I'm going to cut them all off. And some of them are already cut there, but they're not consistent, you can see. So that bit is attached, this face here, but then these faces aren't. So we're just going to cut it all, so it's all the same. So let's go into shell mode. So we want that bit, all of that bit. Okay, so that's all one piece. So let's move all that over here. And we're going to kind of do this in the same way we did the top part, I think, where I'm going to stitch those, but then not the corners. Okay, so next one. Now actually, so you can see actually we need to add that bit and that bit. So let's just find those two bits first. Because they need stitching on. So they're on this inside bit. There we go. There and there. So that might have been why it twisted a little bit. You can see when I unfolded it, it kind of twisted the everything. I mean, it is at an angle regardless. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, right. So you can see that's all sorted now. Okay, so let's go over here. And again, let's select all these pieces, make sure we include those little pieces this time. Okay, so let's just unfold that because it looks a bit out of shape. What's going on there? Yeah, that needs stitching. Okay, I think that one is done as well. I guess we'll find out whether these are actually done in a minute when we'll see if there's any little pieces left. Okay. I mean, the other thing with this is obviously, you know, the piece is actually really tiny. So you've got a little bit more leeway. I knew that was going to happen. It's just that bit. That bit. Because obviously it's going to be very difficult to kind of notice any kind of issue. Having said that, that doesn't mean, oh, it's small, so let's forget about that, because it doesn't really matter. You know, you should still be doing the best job to make sure that it's going to be fine, regardless of, you know, the scale of the actual object itself. Okay, again, so I'm gonna cut these off and then stitch them over here. Again, just so we've got that consistency where the entire thing is attached, rather than kind of parts of it in one place and parts of it in another. That's alright there, I think. Okay, so let's have a go at that. So now you can see that's got the one ridge all the way around it, and it has actually straightened the shell up a bit, so let's go and do that on the other two as well. So you can see here, same situation, that bit's got the extra face on it, that's got the extra face on, but then this one hasn't, it's there again. So again, just for consistency, we're going to sort that out. So it's just basically cutting these bits off. Okay, and then this one, cut that off. Okay, so let's unfold that. Did I unfold that? I think I did. Yeah, okay. So those three are done. Let's just rotate that around to keep them the same. So we've just got one left of those. This one. Okay, so let's start with the center bit again. Obviously this is kind of taking a bit longer because there's more kind of parts to it. Moving so cut that off. Cut that off. And then stitch these back up. It's just about, you know, taking your time really and looking for where you think, did I just deselect that top one when I did that? No, I'd already done it. Okay. And you can, you know, say it all the time, but just practice. You're going to get more and more used to how you're going to kind of do it. Okay, so they're all done. Okay, so now we're going to do these bottom sections. And again, you know, these are tiny bits, but you should just stick with, it does give you a little bit more leeway. Again, we've got kind of that bit I'm going to cut off. And I think that bit on the bottom is fine. Because again, some of it's going up and then it's on there, so I just want that all consistent. So I'm going to cut that there. And then we've got this bit. I'm actually going to cut the bottom bits of that off again to kind of try and get it consistent, because here I want those bits in. There. And then if I unwrap that, unfold even. So now I need to find these little sections. Unfold that again. Okay, that's sorted. These bits here can all just stitch together. And they're just like a rectangle effectively. So let's get those together. I know it's kind of going in and out here, but I'm going to unfold it all anyway once it's all together. Okay, I think that's the entire thing now. Yep, so unfold that. That bit's done. Base is done already, as it was. So it's just this bit. Again, I think we might get away with this all as one. Okay, let's just scale that up. Again, because the pieces are really small. checker pattern, I should say. Now, can we get away with straightening this? I'm going to leave it, I think. It's that small. But it's really not a massive deal, I don't think. Okay, so that's one. Let's go to the next one. I mean, this is the part where you probably just speed this bit up because, you know, I'm just going to do exactly the same as I've done for the previous one. So cutting those bits off because they're going in there. And then, did I cut all the way around that? No. So I think that's where I cut on that one. So that means these should be able to just come back over. Okay, that should unfold now nicely. Yeah. Bottom bit is fine. So now these bits. And, you know, things like this, I mean, I could potentially kind of duplicate it. The unwrap, but for now I'm just going to carry on. Okay, that was one too many, it's trying to be smart. There we go. And again, you know, depending on what you're making, you are going to end up most likely with a lot of these little things. Did I unfold that? I think I did, yeah. Okay, so next one. Almost done with these bits, which I'll be very glad about. Okay, so cutting these bits off. Let's go in here. What did I do then? Did I not cut them? I didn't cut the edge. So let's do that. So double click on the edge to select all the way around, then over here and cut. Okay. Almost there. That's already done. We know they're kind of done straight away. Feel the need to save it again because I don't want to do all this again. Okay. Okay. Last one. I think that's it. Easy, we just got the leg sections left now. Okay, so let's cut this edge. Just try and get all these a bit close together to start with. Okay, cut those bits off. Okay, that bit's done. It's for bits like this. I mean, like I say, I could have just... There's a couple of things I could have done, actually. You can transfer an unwrap from one object to another. If it's the same object, you can kind of duplicate it. And really, I probably should have done that. Alternatively, I could have just unwrapped one of them and then just duplicated that object, kind of kicking myself that I didn't actually do that. But anyway, so yeah, and something like on these feet would have been perfect for that, because it's not like affecting the rest of the model in any way. So yeah, really should have done that, but probably should have mentioned it a bit earlier in the video as well. But then again, hopefully you'll have figured that out for yourself already, and you'll be saying, you know, oh well, I realised I could just duplicate it. So you're a muppetcle. Right, let's just try and put these in some kind of order. I mean, these look all a bit different, which is a bit concerning. Okay, but so that's all that done. Let's just try and organise these a bit. Okay, so now we just got the legs. So let's see what we're going to do with the legs. So we're going to want my seam there. So where's this one? In fact, yeah, let's go into shell mode. Move these over here. So that is where we don't want to cut. Okay, so there's our first leg. And again, as I said, you could have duplicated that, but again, you know, the repetition is just going to get you used to it, and it's just more practice. So whilst you know, it is going to save you time doing it the other way. Like I say, at this stage, particularly if you're new to it, the repetition of is just going to speed you up regardless. So that's where we want the edge. So we're going to go with this one. And then it's there. And there. Unfold it again. We are going to maybe have a go at straightening those in shortly. Yeah, so it's that side that we want to stitch, because then we know the seam's going to be in the middle of the other one. Okay, so it's this one here. So again, we don't want to stitch there, so it's all down there. Okay, so unfold that. Let's just have a look what this looks like. So again, you know, just because it's so small, I just want to check. And that seems alright, to be honest. Yeah, pretty happy with that. So undo. Okay, so now we're just going to fit it all in. So first of all, let's get all these in the corner. Should probably be straightening UVs there instead. Okay. Not quite. Okay, and I'm just going to line them all up. And then just get them a bit closer together. Again, so eventually we're, you know, it's highly likely we're going to be scaling all this, so. Right. This is going to go down here. Maybe even rotate that. Is that going to fit? Beautiful. I want it kind of on level with those, ideally. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that can go a bit further down. See, now this bit, there's a bigger gap over here, so really they want to go over that side. They, whoops, and they want to go there. Now then. That's going to leave us with quite a bit of wasted space, I think, even with these just moved here. Let's have a look. Okay, so that saves quite a bit of space there, but let's see how we get on. Okay, so we're over 70%. I mean, I don't see really what we could scale up. We could potentially scale that up more. Like if we cut the base off and put it underneath, potentially. Don't really want to mess about too much with kind of putting stuff on top of one another and that kind of thing. Because again, we could potentially, you know, those bits could go on top of each other. Maybe not the legs because they're a bit bigger. These bits could go on top of each other. But I think we're just going to leave it. Let's just see if there's any other combos. Because that's the thing, you know, it doesn't, the first time you do the unwrap, that doesn't have to be it. Just have a bit of a look at other possibilities. I'm going to try and keep things in the same orientation, I guess, just to try and make it a bit... Now then, can I fit 3 of them? Okay, maybe I lied about keeping everything in the same orientation, and I am gonna switch it just because it's gonna get me some more room. If I move those down there, I'm sure that's gonna fit like that. Let's bunch these up a bit more. Now that's got plenty of space. They've got plenty of space there regardless. Nothing's overlapping, so let's scale it up again. So what are we on at the minute? We're on 74. Yeah, I mean, that was definitely worth rearranging. 77. Yeah, and like I say, we got one different orientation to the other, but it's not a massive deal. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, so that is the unwrap for the stool.